A four-dimensional creature can just look inside our bodies. So we have one dimension, which is just a line. The measure of the line is the length. Okay. There's no other measurement you can make of it that has any meaning. Right. It does not have a width. Now you can add another dimension. They call that X. We add a Y, and now you have a surface. A plane, and that it's two dimensions, X and Y. So you can make a square out of that, couldn't you? Yeah. Two-dimensional beings who live in that surface. To everyone else in that surface, they only have an outer perimeter. Right. You can't see inside their bodies.
They're all inside the flat plane.
They're inside the flat plane.
That's all they can see.
All you see is the edge of them.
Right, the edge.
So medical surgery in a two-dimensional universe, they'd have to cut you open, part you, and then reach in and do what they need to, come out, and then stitch you up again. Okay? Right. If we live in three dimensions, you get to look down on that flat world and see all the inner guts of every living creature in that universe. Because there is no boundary above and below. It's only within the plane itself. You can see the heart beating. You can see the spleen, the liver, the pancreas, the lungs. You can see it all. In fact, if you wanted to be a surgeon for that world, you could go in, cut out the appendix if they needed appendectomy, and never have to cut through their outer boundary. You'd be like magically going into their body. Dimensional surgery. Dimensional surgery. They would have no access or even awareness that that was even possible, but you do. Right. And you can go in and rectify that. So now, we are in three dimensions. We reveal our skin in all directions to the other people. Right. So our skin is the boundary between our innards and a medical doctor. If they want to get inside you, they got to cut you open. Right. A four-dimensional creature can just look inside our bodies.
Oh, I feel violated.
I know.
Oh. I hope no one's watching right now. God.
Anyone from the fourth spatial dimension has full access to your entire body's innards. Oh. They could pull stuff out, put stuff in, operate, whatever.
We are the game operation to anybody in the fourth dimension.
What I'm saying is, if you had what you beautifully refer to as dimensional surgery, you would be able to operate without ever cutting someone open, provided you come from a higher dimension inward. Right. And it is completely analogous to be a four-dimensional surgeon operating on us without cutting us open, to be we as three-dimensional surgeons operating on two-dimensional creatures, because you could just see all their organs just sitting there. Now, we can move forward and back, left and right, up and down. Okay? Those are the three spatial dimensions. But the time dimension, you don't have access to the past or the future. We are prisoners of the present, forever transitioning between our inaccessible past and our unknowable future. But let's think this through. How would you imprison a two-dimensional creature?
Draw a line.
What kind of line?
A square.
A square. Just draw a square. That's its prison cell.
Yeah.
But we say, wait, just step up out of it and then you escape.
Good to go.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fully locked in.
Fully locked in.
How do we put us in a cell? We have 6 walls.
Right.
A ceiling, floor, 4 walls around us.
Right.
We think we are completely contained within it. A higher dimensional creature says, just step out and then step back in and you're outside the cell. We say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Wait a minute. I said a 4-dimensional creature. If we had access to the 4th dimension, which for us is what?
Time.
Time, but wait, we're prisoners of time. So suppose we weren't prisoners of time. Suppose you could move through time the way we move through space. Could you then escape the prison?
Yeah, just move to a time when I'm not in prison.
Exactly. Just say, let me get out of these 6 walls here. You just go back to a time before you got put into prison, or go to the future where you were let go from the prison.
Right.
Each of those counts as escaping the prison without ever breaking down the wall.
Right.
So time can serve that same role if you had access to the past and to the future.
That's pretty cool, man.
Of course, we go higher, this fifth dimension, sixth dimensions, this sort of thing. And mathematically, you can calculate what all the properties are. And it's fascinating to watch. Another quick one. You ready?
Go ahead.
Knots in strings only exist in 3 dimensions.
Okay.
In other words, in a 4th dimension, you hand them a knot in the 4th dimension and say, wait, just pull the ends.
Right.
And it unravels itself. That's the same thing as we 3-dimensional people looking at 2-dimensional people, and they have a string that just has this loop in it. One loop.
Right.
And they say, how do I untie this? I can't untie. Say, dude, pick up the 2 ends and stretch. They can't do that.
Right.
They can't do that. So knots are different things in higher dimensions. The way to do it is you have to make a knot out of a 2-dimensional ribbon. And there are ways to do that, I think, and rather than just out of a string. So a lot of interesting things change and are mind-boggling for ascending to a higher dimension.
Sweet.
All right, Neil deGrasse Tyson here, as always. Keep looking up.